Right then, before we go into anything, take everything that I say with a grain of salt. It is not set in stone, it is a theory, okay? If I am wrong, I'm wrong. If I'm right, I'm right. Doesn't matter. Take it with a grain of salt. If you like the theory, fair enough. If you don't like it, tell me your own theory. That being said, hello everyone and welcome to my Bleach Halibel theory. I'll probably improve the title. I'll probably use the title I did for Bambietta and the Arancas, but yeah, whatever. It's to do with Halibel. So, if you've watched my review, then you have a brief understanding of what I'm going to say. Now, for those that haven't seen my review, let me just say, or the Grimjow review. No, not Grimjow review. The chat 624. No, 625 because that's when they came in. Well, I'll mention them both. Either way, in 624, when Grimjow appeared, his Garganta was massive, right? Too big for one person. I said that. And following 625, Nell came out. So yeah, I was like, okay, I was right. More than one person in there. Like, where's Halibel? But the Garganta was still open. So I was like, okay, what's the is it? Are we gonna see, you know, more Spartas? Are we gonna see those other wrong cars? Like, what are they? I forget their names, but the girls that were Aizen's not plaything, but Yami's plaything. Not literally, but in fighting sense, before anyone gets their minds in the gutter. But no. It was Rurika and Yukiko, which I was okay with. Well, actually, I was ecstatic for Yukiko, but okay with Rurika. But anyway. And I thought with this chapter, we would at least see Halibel or her Fraction. Now, yes, I know with her Fraction that they... What happened? They were with Orihime and all that when Ichigo left. Don't really know what happened afterwards, but yeah, the Fraction still play a part. So, yeah, Halibel, her Fraction, none of them were there in that box. I was like, okay. So, right. Way back when we saw that Halibel was alive, not really well, but alive. She was alive and Juha's captive because she was ultimately defeated, as Kliege said. Now, Juha has said that he sees the Arancas as tools, much like his Quincy's, but useful tools nonetheless. And when it came to those two fodder Arancas, what were their names? Let me double check. Freegan and Airburn. Probably saying their names wrong. Freegan was the one that, you know, went to Yamamoto in chapter 492. And Airburn was the Arancar that fought and tried to steal Ichigo's Bankai. But, yeah, from the way things, you know, look, that was obviously a test. So he found use for them, but once their usefulness ran its course, he cut them down. Halibel, though, while she is much more powerful than those two, and probably the other Arancas that are under Juha's thumb, we just haven't seen them yet, he kept her in chains. Now, to me, that reminded me a bit of Aizen. But obviously a little bit more manipulative as far as things go, while Juha was essentially being a bit more honest. Now, there may be some manipulative ploys, I say, down the line, but let me just say, if Juha didn't have any use for her, and he cut her, and he beat her down like that, thanks to his power of the Almighty, because, yeah, again, the release of an Espada is... Oh, well, the Arancas is poison to the Quincy's, and you know, with his almighty powers, he obviously used that to counteract her in some way or another. So, he chained her up. Why? Now, I had the funny feeling that when, there were a lot of missing letters, that Halibel was under the control of SternRitter M the Mind. But obviously that changed when, Valkyrie came in. But you obviously see where this is going. To me, he kept her alive because he saw a use for her. Like maybe she kills someone in the in future chapters. He saw her kill someone. Like she needs to stay alive to kill this person, and then I'm done with you. Like you can be thrown to the rest of them. Now, why would she join up Juha? In essence, the same reason for Aizen, in my opinion. If you don't want your comrades to sacrifice themselves, join me. Now, she doesn't know the state of Sun, Mila Rose, and Apache, and as far as things go, neither do we. Last time we saw him, Apache had Kliege shot something through Apache's neck, and Mila Rose and, actually... Now that I think of it, I can't really remember, but I think that they weren't killed. It was never mentioned, but I think Kliege defeated them after he absorbed Ion, or before. No, I think it. Well, either way, however it goes about, we don't really know this state of play. So yeah. I think that Juha indoctrinated her in one form or another. She used her love for love and compassion and caring for her fraction against her, because at the end of the day, that's her weakness. And we have seen her showing vengeful means for her fraction when she thought that they were killed by Yamamoto. But the only person stopping her from fighting Yamamoto was Toshiro. He couldn't really get revenge, but they were alive and it doesn't really matter. As far as now, again, her fraction are her biggest weakness, no matter what. I'm not saying in fighting, they're not that strong, but they can fend for themselves when the time arises. It's just that when it came to them summoning an Ion on Kliege, I don't think they really expected, him to absorb the bastard. Because even I was shocked then. But yeah. It's her love for them. As I said, that's her biggest weakness. Now, I think that there are a second group of SternRitters. Now, that's a theory that has been going around for a while. And, there's only one person that has actually gone into depth for it. I just found this recently. That's why I take no credit for that, but it does stand to reason. I think Halibel is a part of this second group of SternRitters, unless... Now, this is where things get a little fiddly, because I was looking around for SternRitter letters relating to water that had other meanings beginning with N, but came up short, since, Akatron's death. Now, unless Kubo brings him back, then she's a part of the second group of SternRitters, if there are. But that's, again, another theory entirely, and I take no credit for that. I'll link that theory in the description, but either way, I think Juha manipulated her mind or tortured her mind to the point where she's working for him willingly, but at the same time indoctrinated, but not to the extent of if there was a SternRitter mind. Like, there will be no hold that can break through her if someone does intend to help her out. break her from, like, a hold. But since, I think she's going to be indoctrinated without any, fiddly magic, then she'll just be fighting and fighting and cutting down the person that Juha saw her killing. Now, to me, she's either going to... Well, there are a lot of words for that have other meanings for sea or water. She could be liquid, moisture, abundance, anything really. I mean, like, abundance doesn't really relate to water, but, well, it kind of does in its meaning, like, when Nananawa had his lair revealed to be underbelly. While it wasn't understand, it did relate, his understanding nature did relate to the underbelly. And, you all know what abundance means, like, and water can relate to abundance. As long as something has a correlation to her powers, or has a relative meaning to her powers, she is that SternRitter. I don't think... Well, actually, she could be a SternRitter, but that was just a theory. I mean, like, liquid, moisture. I don't really know. I had the page. Oh, hold on, there it is. Not water. Let's see. Multitude. Plethora. I was going to say that, but debated. When I looked up its meaning, it relates to blood. So, yeah. Profusion, don't know that's meaning, but, yeah. Anything, really. So, yeah. Who she's going to kill, I don't really know. Unless her purpose is just to be a wall, to stop Ichigo and all from climbing up the ladder, that they're in that box, now that I think about it. She's just there to be a wall until she's defeated or she defeats someone in the box. And let's be frank, I don't think that will happen. Whether she is killed or not remains to be seen. Or, what I said to begin with, Halibel's purpose is to kill someone. Who, I don't really know. But I think I have a funny feeling who I think it is, now that I think about it. Yeah, just adding on ideas. Like, right, we've seen everyone, right, the heroes are getting more, troops. That's a given. And regardless of Juha's power, well, new power, don't really know what that does. Well, if he can create a new world, then he's obviously strong. But as far as things go, he's outmatched. Yes, Ichigo has to defeat him. But if my old demigod theory is right, then yeah, that was when was that mentioned? Yeah, that was mentioned in another review. But yeah, if the demigods come, the other three remaining limbs of the Soul King, then yeah, they're outnumbered, and that is Juha's weakness. Unless the Soul, when him absorbing... Well, I'm not going to make a counter, but you get the idea. Unless the Soul King, him absorbing the Soul King, allow him to see the other demigods, and that is a counter, but I still think they're a main weakness regardless. So, with him being able to foresee things, he obviously foresaw Basby, Giselle, and Little Toe's betrayal. Now, if there isn't a... second group of SternRitters, which I'll be okay, and at the same time I won't be okay with. Yeah, that's a little bit of an iffy thing, but don't ask that. The reason why he kept Halibel was to take care of them, because as far as things go, with the ending of this week's chapter, they're going to be all over the place. And if Giselle, Lil Toto, and Basby are separated into another area, then that's when Halibel will come in to take care of them, and then she is eventually done in by who knows what else, or she gets done dirty and by Urahara. I don't think Aizen will interfere. Maybe Byakuya or anyone really, and yeah, Basby and all are saved. But that's just another thing entirely. So yeah, to sum it all up, I think Halibel has become a SternRitter. Whatever her letter's meaning, it remains to be seen. It just makes sense. Whether she's a SternRitter or not, doesn't really matter. For Juha to keep her alive, she's on her side, his side for one reason or another. So yeah, let me know what you think. Do you think Halibel has become a SternRitter, or do you think she's just, you know, like a more beefed up? Well, I think she's beefed up anyway, in my opinion. But Juha just gave her more power instead of the power of a SternRitter. So yeah, let me know what you think. If Halibel is on Juha's side, how do you feel about that? If you're a fan of her, how'd that make you feel? And if you weren't really a fan of her to begin with, how would you look at that? You know, would you like that? Would you hate that? But, yeah, just let me know. I'll see you next time if I do another theory. But yeah, I always like these. So yeah, good day.